Judges, please prepare for Dana Cicatello. Thank you, Tim. The Long Journey Home. The Long Journey Home, Dana Cicatello. $500 trade-in. The tires on that car alone are worth more than $500. And so began the odyssey to bring the car from Hawaii back to my home in Aurora. Once the car was here, the first time I stopped to buy fuel, someone walked up to me and said, "Hawaii license plates, huh? Did you drive it here?" And every time I have stopped and parked the car for any reason since, people come up to me and say, "Hawaii license plates, did you drive it here?" The sincerity of their question in their eyes and in their voice compels me to make an answer. Why, yes. Yes, I did drive it here. Let me tell you. You know, after a rainstorm and the streets are wet and puddles, and they tell you not to drive too fast because the water will lift your tires up off of the street, hydroplaning, that was my plan. My plan was to drive fast enough that I could hydroplane across the Pacific Ocean from Hawaii to California. The journey starts on Hawaii's Interstate Highway H1. Why they call it an interstate is anybody's guess. But if you drive really fast and then go off of the highway, across the sand beach and out into the water, only the first few hundred yards are a problem. The Hawaiian surf and so on, and then things settle out. Things were nice over the next several hours. Into the afternoon, whales gathered around my car, dolphins gathered around my car, singing and whistling to each other, singing the songs of their ancestors, singing the songs of their tribes, and guiding me forward. In the late afternoon, they found a big ocean tanker, and they guided me to it, but not too close to it. I have to drive really fast to stay on top of the water. So I'm circling the ocean tanker while a dolphin brings a fuel hose out, plugs it into my car, and fills the tank. Keep the speed, I chant. Keep the speed. When the car is full, the dolphins unplug the fuel hose, and they guide me while I bring the steering back to center very carefully, and they aim me back to the east again. And now in the rearview mirror, I'm watching an incredible sunset. Beautiful colors in the sky, the sun goes below the horizon, darkness settles over me. I drive into an area of the ocean that is a mass of phosphorescent algae. The phosphorescent algae glows when it's disturbed. It's the glow of 1 million fluorescent light tubes. And that glowing light spreading from that horizon to that horizon keeps me pointed in the direction I need to be going. I start to move out of the heaviest of the algae, and the glow is not as bright as it had been. It becomes more of a dull gray in the water. And now I'm not so sure of my course any longer. And they start making corrections, little gentle corrections. Every time I make a correction, the water swirls to the sides of my car. And in these swirls, this algae clumps back together and clumps bigger and bigger, and it's becoming something. It's becoming a giant fish. It's a whale. It's the most big whale I've ever seen in my life. It has a tall forehead, it has a short jaw, it has an eye, beautiful tapered body, big fins, and the whale is swimming next to my car, and I'm a little bit concerned. I don't know if this is my imagination, I don't know if this is clumps of algae, or if an actual giant whale has found me. And I'm a little concerned. I try to move away, the water swirls. The whale starts running in the swirl, chasing its tail. And finally the whale does catch its tail, but the tail is trying to get away. And the whale swims faster and faster, and turns into a blur, and the blur turns into a flying saucer, a UFO. The UFO is spinning next to my car. And now the morning light is showing on the horizon. And the UFO moves in front of my car and guides me toward the light where I need to be traveling. The whale goes over the horizon, the sun comes up, the dolphins and whales come back alongside my car to guide me the rest of the way. Land ahead. I race up onto the beach. I power slide onto the Pacific Coast Highway where I can drive the rest of the way to Denver. Did you drive it here? Yes, I drove it here. And it's easy to understand when you realize that the reason we are all here is because we are not all there.